Yo, 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 what is good, YouTube familia? How are we doing? How are we doing, y'all? So today I wanted to talk about shadow work. Let me go ahead and make sure y'all can see me clearly. Today I wanted to talk about shadow work because I feel like a lot of people are hearing about shadow work and they aren't quite familiar with what it is, what it's all about, what it even consists of. But that's why I'm gonna go ahead and shed some light on shadow work today. So, shadow work from my perspective is all about shining light upon the parts of yourself that have been pushed into a corner, pushed into the closet, that we aren't even aware of because we don't express our shadow every single day. What I have realized within this society is that our shadow, most of us don't even know about it because we haven't been taught about it. But if we were taught about our shadow from birth, we would have a better balance within our masculine and our feminine energy. And this is why I feel like it's so important to be spoken about. Because for so long, I myself have not been aware of my shadow. And my shadow is that side of me that feels abandoned, shameful, bad, right? But in all reality, bad and good are just titles that we use to differentiate between light and dark. And when we can understand that light and dark are neither good or bad, they just are, that's when I feel like we can understand our own lightness and our own darkness. Now, I feel like when we can shed light upon our shadow side, we could learn so much about ourselves. Like, for example, I have trauma surrounded by my father. And when I had those things growing up that I had went through, I kind of held on to it instead of processing it. And then because I never processed it, I never got to shine light on those shadow parts and actually understand that those pieces of my shadow were not there to hurt me and to traumatize me. They were there to help and protect me. They were there to show me how I want my life to be. And of course, we can't control everything in our lives. Not everything in our lives are in our control. But what we can do is control the perception. We can control how we view things. And what I have also learned about our shadow is that it's linked to our subconscious mind. And what I have learned is that our subconscious mind is our body. And our conscious mind is our actual mind. So when we go through trauma, our subconscious mind, our body, takes the impact for the trauma. In other words, this is where our trauma is stored, in the body. And that's why breath work can be so very important, because when you're doing breath work, when you're dancing, when you're moving the body, you're releasing trauma, you're releasing stagnant energy from the body. And I've said this before in previous videos, but all pain is stagnant energy lying dormant in the body. So that stuff is very interesting to understand, because at no point in time are you gonna fully understand these concepts. It's a journey. And that's with everything in life. You can always learn something new about anything that you're looking into and that you're learning about. That's the beauty of shadow work, because even when you think you had processed something and released it, something else comes up that shows you haven't. And so I'm here to tell you that if you're going through that, don't be down on yourself. It's a process, it's a journey. It's not a destination. You don't just wake up and go, oh, I'm untraumatized. No. No, that doesn't work. Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, so that's why reprogramming the subconscious mind, though, can be so very important, because our body holds memory. Our body is gonna show up for the world, and if it's not taken care of and if it's not cared for, it probably won't show up in its best potential. And that's why when you see all these health activists talking about taking care of the body, they're really talking about taking care of the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is what's really helping to create our physical reality in a lot of different ways. So if you can speak light and love into your cells, into every piece and bit of your existence, you'll be able to spread that love into other pieces of the world. But that's up to you to do that work. You can't just expect it to start happening. You start changing the way you think, and then you expect everything to change overnight. You expect for everything to work so fast, and it don't work like that. It's a journey. It's like, what I also think is, all of us different beings that are learning with each other every single day, we're sharpening each other's knives. I was gonna say knives. Through the different perceptions that we hold. And when you actually take that time to listen and to sit back and go, damn, that's how they're really perceiving this, you could potentially learn something very fast. And that's something that has really helped me along my journey as well, is just listening. Just truly listening. Like, when it's time to keep my mouth shut, I listen to my inner knowing and I keep my mouth shut. 9 times out of 10, I end up learning something new that I need in order to survive. And I think that that's a very important thing as well that people aren't really talking about, is the throat chakra, and how over talking, over speaking can cause damage to the throat chakra. It can block the throat chakra. You may think, oh, I'm talking. This is opening my throat chakra more. Because that's what I used to think. But really, you're causing an imbalance in the throat chakra. So know when to just be quiet and be still. And then you can start communicating with your subconscious body more. Like, it's interesting because we were taught that this is a body, right? Right. And not very many people know that this is a mind, that our body is actually a mind. And so that's why I'm going to start calling it the subconscious body, because they are one. They're not separate. And when we speak to our selves, we can learn so much. We are a piece of the whole, so we're the whole experiencing itself. That's what I have learned along my journey. If that resonated with you, take it. If it didn't, that's okay. But that's something that I have definitely learned along my journey, is that I can ask myself a question and I can get the answer, whether the question may be referring to something outside of myself, because the way my body will react to it, the way my body will communicate with it, I can learn something from that outside of me, from looking within. And that's what a lot of people have been talking about recently, is like, go within to find the answers, because you most definitely can. We're not separate from this outer world. We are eternal. We're living just as everything else is living out here. And we communicate with all the different things that we put in our bodies every single day. This air that we breathe, we're communicating with it. We're taking in information from the sun, from the air, from the food. And a lot of the times, if you're struggling with the subconscious body, it could mean you're not taking care of it properly. And that's what I have learned along my journey, is that when I put processed foods inside of my body will stop communicating with me, because it's like, yo, you already know what you're doing. You know the answer to this. So why are you still doing it? And then it goes into ignore mode, which that's what I would do too. I totally understand. So if you're truly that person that's trying to understand yourself more, communicate with your subconscious body, I would definitely suggest cleaning your diet. Be intentional about what you're putting into your mouth, into your eyes, and into your ears. But other than that, y'all, I figured I'd shed some light onto some shadow work, which is most definitely our subconscious body right here. And when we can start communicating with our subconscious body, that's when we can start diving deep into some shadow work. That's what I have learned along my journey. And yeah, I love every single one of you once again. I will be back with another video. Keep striving to be the best version of yourself. Keep drinking that lovely agua, and keep taking care of you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this video if you felt like it resonated with you, and if you enjoyed it. Peace. Namaste.